Welcome to all of you. Today we are going to learn a new poem 2.5 Father Returning Home. The poem is written by Dilip Purushottam Chitre. Before learning the poem, let's learn something about the poet. Dilip Purushottam Chitre was celebrated bilingual poet, translator, the remarkable work in Marathi and English language. He was also a painter, filmmaker, magazine columnist as well as a critic also. He received the prestigious Sahitya Akademi Award for his poetry as well as his well-known translation work Says Tuka, popular Abhanga by Sant Tukaram. So he was an Indian poet who has written so many poems. The present poem, Father Returning Home, is one of them. Then we also know something about the poem, Father Returning Home. The present poem is taken from the Travelling in a Cage. It is an autobiographical poem which describes the portrait of suburban commuter who travels daily on daily basis from home to his workplace. It describes the loneliness of a person who is working for his family, a person who is a breadwinner of his family. He was neglected, uncared, and not given any importance in his own family. So that is about the poem. Then we have to know about the theme of the poem also. Here, before learning the poem, I am going to explain the central idea or theme of the poem. There is the reason behind that, and the reason is that if there is the curiosity about a particular thing or object, then we can eager to try to know something about that particular thing. I will give you an example, and the example is about the film. Before the film shown in the theater, its trailer was published. Why? What is the purpose? Why it is so? The reason is that the people know something about that film, know something about the central idea, know something about the characters, actions, songs, and that was the reason. And so, before learning the poem, I am explaining the central idea of the poem. As I told you, it is an autobiographical poem. Poet expressed his own feelings about his father at an old age. It is an account of an old man who worked continuously for his family to complete their needs. But those family members did not share any thoughts, any feelings, any happiness, any joy, any sorrow with that person. In short, a man who was working continuously to complete the needs of his own family, those family members did not share a single thoughts or feelings with that person. In short, we can say that the poem is an account of an old man who does the hard work for his family but leads a tiresome, lonely, and dull life. That is the central idea or the theme of. Let's see the poetic style of the poem. The present poem, My Father Returning Home, consists of two stanzas. Each stanza contains 12 lines. It is written in free verse with no particular meter or rhyme scheme followed by the poet. The language is easy and simple but full of symbolic expressions. and poetic devices like simile, alliteration, transferred epithet, onomatopoeia, etc. are used by the poet. It is the poem is in the first person narrative style, where the poet speaker narrates his father's life. Poet has used imagery and various descriptive words to compose the poem. Next, we have to learn the meaning of the poem line by line. What the poet want to say. Let's move toward the first stanza. Let's see the first stanza. My father travels on the late evening train, standing among silent commuters in the yellow light. Suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes. His shirt and pants are soggy, and his black raincoat stained with mud, and his bag stuffed with books is falling apart. His eyes dimmed by age fade homeward through the humid monsoon night. Now I can see him getting off the train. Like a word dropped from a long sentence, he hurries across the length of the grey platform, crosses the railway line, enters the lane. His chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries onward. So this is the first stanza of 12 lines. In the first stanza, poet describes his father's return journey. After completing office work at late night, he travels by train. Here, poet said, my father travels on the late night evening. Late night evening, it means that he has to stay in office for a long period of time to complete to his work. Standing among silent commuters in the yellow light, suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes. Before this, the late night train that symbolizes that the father did not have vehicle of transport to go to the home. It means that father did not purchase any vehicle for the journey. He always care about his family, so he traveled throughout the life by public transport, that is train. Then after sitting the train, standing among silent commuters in the yellow light, and here in train he did not get a place or seat to sit comfortably. He has to stand. He did not get place to sit, so he has to stand among other commuters. Commuters means those persons who travel regularly. So he has to stand among other silent commuters in the yellow light. Yellow light symbolizes that there is no energy, there is no desire among the passenger, among the commuters to talk with each other. Suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes. That line describes that the father is not interested. Unseeing eyes, that describes that father did not have will, wish, or desire to see the out view of the suburban area when he was traveling from the train. The next two lines, his shirt and pants are soggy, and his black raincoat stained with mud, and his bag stuffed with books is falling apart. These three lines describe the pathetic condition of his father. He travels during the rainy season, his clothes became damp and dirty. His raincoat stained with mud. He carried a sack, he carried a bag, and that bag was full of books. And here, in an old age, they are not able to handle that weight way of that books. The bag which he carried in his arms, it was not comfortable for him to carry. His eyes dimmed by age fade homeward through the humid monsoon night, and it is an feature of an old age that the eyes of old man dimmed as his age grows up. So here father tries to reach the house as soon as possible. Now I can see him getting off the train like a word dropped from a long sentence. Here poet used or poet compare the getting off his father from the train to the word which is dropped from a long sentence. अतिशय छान प्रकारची तुलना या ठिकाणी केलेली आहे की जसे एखाद्या वाक्यामधून एखादा शब्द गळून पडावा त्या पद्धतीने माझे वडील त्या ट्रेनमधून खाली उतरत होते. सो इट वॉज अ नाईस एक्झाम्पल ऑफ अन सिमिली फिगर ऑफ स्पीच. सो हिअर फादर्स getting off from the train is compared to the word. He hurries across the length of grey platform. Now after getting off from the train, he hurries across the length of grey platform. He try to cross the platform as early as possible. He was in hurry to cross that platform, then cross the railway line and enters into the lane, enters on the road to reach to the house. And when after reaching to the road, and when he was walking, that time his chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries onward. Being a chappal with his chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries onward. Now the first stanza describes how his father has to travel in monsoon period. On the road it was full of water and mud, and during that situation father has to reach to the home in any situation. So first stanza is completely description of his father's returning journey. Now we move towards the second stanza. Home again I see him drinking weak tea, eating a stale chapati, reading a book. He goes into the toilet to contemplate man's estrangement from a man-made world. Coming out, he trembles at the sink. The cold water running over his brown hands, a few droplets cling to the graying hair on his wrist. His sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. He will now go to sleep, listening to the static on the radio, dreaming of his ancestors and grandchildren, thinking of nomads entering a subcontinent through a narrow pass. When we read the second stanza, then we realize that in the second stanza, poet describe the situation in house, describe the event which occurred in house. The first stanza it is completely outside the house, but second stanza describes which type of situation was there when his father returned to the home. See, home again I see him drinking tea, eating a stale chapati, reading a book. The second stanza describes the isolation state of the father in his own house. A person who was in charge of the house, he has to live in an isolation state. These two lines, which I see him drinking weak tea and eating a stale chapati, reading a book. That two lines describe the isolation state of a person who was in charge of the house. The person who was working for his family, he has to live in an isolation state at home. Father drinks weak tea and eats stale chapati. This creates an unpleasant atmosphere. Nobody cares for him even at home. He goes into the toilet to contemplate man's estrangement from a man-made world. He goes into the toilet to think deeply and to separate himself from man-made world. These two lines describe that father also not interested to talk with his family members at home. Or on the other side, we can say that the family members are not interested to talk with the in charge or the breadwinner of the family. He goes into the toilet to contemplate. Contemplate means to think deeply. Man's estrangement from a man-made world, and here father try to left him away from his family member. Coming out, he trembles at the sink, the cold water running over his brown hands. Here, toilet is a symbol of his small world. He is terribly shaken when he comes out of the toilet, and trembles, it means shake, while washing his hands at the basin. Shaking and trembling of his body indicates that his old age and his thinking about his loneliness. A few droplets cling to the graying hair on his wrist, as his sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. Another important thing poet mentioned here, that for whom we earn money, for whom we work to give a sophisticated, prosperous life, those children are also not interested in father. Those children are not able, or those children who are not interested to share the moments which may be sad or happy, but they are not ready to share the jokes, share the feelings, or to share the secrets with father. He will now go to sleep, and finally father went to the bedroom to sleep, and here, listening to the static on radio, dreaming of his ancestor and grandchildren, thinking of nomads entering a subcontinent through a narrow pass. So listening radio, dreaming about ancestors, these things describes that father once again when he went to the bedroom, and there he was also alone. He was in isolated state. Here radio, it is the symbol of one-way communication. There is no two-way communication. And so father just listened the radio and dreaming about his ancestors. Ancestors means our grandparents, grandson, great grandparents, and so many. He thinks about nomads. Nomads, it means tribes. एक विशिष्ट जमात पूर्वीच्या काळामध्ये काही जमाती होत्या, आदिवासी जमाती, ज्यांनी आपल्या या भारतामध्ये प्रवेश केला होता. असे जमाती या nomads entering in our subcontinent. Geographical subcontinent imagery is used by poet here. Subcontinent means खंड. या खंडाचा उपयोग या ठिकाणी कवीने केलेला आहे की those tribes entered in our subcontinent through a narrow pass. रुंद अशा रस्त्यामधून त्या ट्राइब्सनी आपल्या या खंडामध्ये प्रवेश केलेला आहे. In this way, the poet was listening radio, dreaming of his ancestors and grandchildren, as well as thinking about the nomads. So all these things he has done just to find the peace of mind, just to get relaxed from the day's work. So this situation or this condition indicates that the father was also alone in his own family. So that is the second stanza of the poem, which describes completely the isolation state of father. Here each and every line describes or denotes how father live an isolated life, how father was alone in his own house. I hope you understand the poem very well. I try my best to explain it. Thank you very much.